I haven't posted anything to this channel in a long damn time. I've been waiting until this coming February before I started making videos for this channel again. But something got under my skin today, and it sets me off whenever I see it. It really does. People talking about texting and driving and how dangerous it is. It's gotta be, right? Texting and driving has to be dangerous because there are definitely people that have been in accidents and killed themselves or killed themselves and their passengers and killed people in the vehicles that they've hit because they were texting, right? Well, to the credit of most websites that I've gone to when I decided to actually research this and see if there was any facts behind this, they don't just focus the mainstream and good, knowledgeable sites with information that you can research. They don't just talk about texting. They talk about distracted drivers, which I completely agree with. And that's what I'd like to talk about. Because texting isn't what kills these morons. It's being distracted. That is what kills them. And if it wasn't the text message, it would be something else. It would be the email on the phone. It would be the Google Maps on the phone while you're trying to find your destination. It would be changing your route while you're driving on your GPS. It would be lighting a cigarette. It would be talking to one of your passengers. It would be picking up your child's toy that they just dropped on the floor behind your seat. All of these things are distractions. It's how you choose to react to that distraction and how you choose to solve it that is key here. Obviously, the best way to solve any of these would be to pull over in a safe environment. Get off the highway, get off the road, pull over, park, and take care of it. For any of these things. But Americans are used to driving. Americans are used to doing things and driving. I'm old enough to have grown up where the modern cars of the time, yeah, they came with seat belts, but believe you me, my dad cut those motherfuckers out. So things have changed, okay? And it's not the texting, it's the distractions. Don't do anything else and drive if you can't keep your car going straight down a straight road with your hand on the wheel unless you're staring at the goddamn road. You ever in a car with somebody like that? Where they look at something and they go to point at something on the road, and as they're doing it, their other arm is pulling the wheel. Right? And you're like, whoa! Get back on the road! They weren't texting. They're just lucky nobody was oncoming and you were in the fucking car with them. Right? I'm looking up motor vehicle accidents and number of deaths. It's a chart from 1990 to 2009. And I want to talk about 1990 for a second. In 1990, the only fucking cell phones that existed at the time were actual cellular phones. We called them bag phones. You either kept it in the bag on the floor of the car, or you actually mounted it like on your dashboard or in between the seats to try and look cool. That's what they were back then. They costed like $1 something a minute. And that's back in 1990, okay? When gas was like $1 or under a gallon. That's how much it cost a minute to use these motherfucking phones. You had to have them plugged into the cigarette lighter. They didn't have batteries for them. And this goes up to 2009, where in 2009 I was using an iPhone 3GS. That definitely had everything that this phone I'm currently using to record this has now. In 1990, the amount of motor vehicle accidents was 11.5 million. In 2009, it was 10.8 million. And it's actually gone down. 2000, the year 2000 was the highest spike in accidents that we had. It was 13.4 million. But from there, it steadily declines. What also went down were deaths. In 1990, the rate per 1 million vehicle miles of deaths was 2.1. In 2009, it was 1.1. Now, what I attribute that to is safety features. Because in 1990, the biggest safety feature we had were those fucking automatic fucking seat belts, where your lap belt and your shoulder belt were two separate entities. And when you closed the door, that fucking shoulder belt went up on a track and connected, and you had to do your lap belt. That was our safety feature in 1990. Today we've got side curtain airbags and regular airbags, and your car will goddamn stop before it fucking rear ends somebody and give an alert when you're crossing into the lane without signaling, right? We have all that shit now. Backup cameras. We didn't have that shit in 1990. So the deaths, I think we can attribute to the safety features. But just the accident rates themselves have gone down. Yet we text now. We texted in 2009. We didn't fucking text in 1990. But texting's bad. Don't text and drive. So before you jump on the don't text and drive bandwagon, and before you want to blame the phone or blame the 16-year-old teenager for texting and driving, I would blame, hell, I don't know who to blame. Who do I blame? Distracted drivers of all fucking ages. That's who you blame. The people that can't do anything and fucking drive. The people that don't make driving the number one priority while they're fucking driving and let everything else be goddamn secondary. Those idiots make something else in the fucking vehicle the priority while they're fucking driving it. And it doesn't matter if it's their fucking smartphone or something else that is going to distract them. Don't blame the texting. If an accident happens because the person was texting, well, that person's an idiot. And they could have been doing something else. There's also something that we're not talking about anyway. What do we call these events? We call them accidents. Accidents fucking happen. They just do. I can be doing everything perfect, and my fucking tire could explode because I rode over something. And if in that split instant I wasn't holding the steering wheel nice and tight, if I was just holding it loosely, and that steering wheel fucking jerks while I'm doing 65 on the highway because it just exploded, I might be screwed, no matter how attentive I was. So unless you're going to force every single driver on the road to sit up nice and straight in their fucking seat and have both hands on the fucking steering wheel, not at 10 and 2 anymore because we have airbags. So you got to put them at what? What is it? Fucking 4 and 8, right? 4 and 8 o'clock maybe? Is that where you put your hands now? Both hands on the fucking wheel, looking nice and straight, looking straight goddamn forward the entire time, drowning everything else out, not listening to the fucking radio, paying just attention to driving. Unless you're going to make everybody in the world, or at least here in the United States, do that and nothing else, then I think there's things we could concentrate on more than just bitching about texting and driving. I think we could probably talk about how there's people that don't know how to goddamn parallel park, yet they passed a driving test. There's people that don't know what a 3-point turn is, yet they got their license from the DMV or the registry. There's the problems. How does somebody pass a driver's ed course who can't do a fucking 3-point turn or parallel park their vehicle? How did they even get that certification? How did they get that? And then how did they go get their license and pass that test, that driving test? I think there's things we could be concentrating on more. I think the facts of the amount of accidents having gone down in that 19 years, even though there was the rise of smartphones. I think that kind of goes against this whole texting and driving will kill you thing. I'm just saying. Rant over.